Hello, my name is Brad McWhorter, and I am a graduate student in the College of Nursing and Health Innovation at the University of Texas at Arlington. The course is Nursing Leadership in Complex Healthcare Systems. This is a book review on It Worked for Me in Life and Leadership by Colin Powell. Colin Powell was born in Harlem, New York City, in April 5th of 1937. He grew up in the South Bronx. He was the son of a Jamaican immigrant whose unwavering belief in the power of education and personal achievement shaped his character. He enrolled in City College and joined Reserve Training Officer Corps, or ROTC. He ascended to the highest rank of cadet colonel and graduated in 1958 with that honor. He was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army in 1962 and deployed to Vietnam under then President John F. Kennedy. He was wounded in 1963 while on patrol and was awarded the Purple Heart and Bronze Star later that year. He served a second tour between 1968 and 1969, where he received the Soldier's Medal because of his heroism in rescuing his squad members from the wreckage of a burning helicopter while wounded himself. General Powell has received 11 military awards and recognitions, as well as numerous other private and public sector awards. He received his Master's of Business Administration degree from George Washington University upon graduation. Upon graduation, he earned a White House fellowship and began moving in political circles while still serving in the military. He later retired as a four-star general. His political engagement included 5 presidents: United States Deputy Secretary Advisor under President Ronald Reagan, United States National Security Advisor under President Ronald Reagan, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff under President H.W. Bush and President Bill Clinton, and then United Secretary of State under George W. Bush. Colin Powell has authored several books. Some are My American Journey, A Soldier's Way, an autobiography on leadership. Colin Powell, an American hero, speaks out in his own words, Colin Powell, and numerous others. As said previously, this book review is about the book It Worked for Me in Life and Leadership. Within the book, there are 6 guiding themes of It Worked for Me. First are the rules. Then there's you know yourself and be yourself. Thirdly, take care of the troops. Fourth, fast times in the digital world, getting to 150%, and then reflections. Theme 1 is the rules, and I have to admit this is probably one of my favorite sections of this book. These rules came about because he has developed 13 rules over the course of his lifetime, which have come from stories he's collected. These are collected over his military and political careers, and these rules have evolved over the course of about 20 years. These 13 rules are, beginning with Rule 1, it ain't bad. It ain't as bad as you think. It will look better in the morning. Rule 2, get mad, then get over it. Rule 3, avoid having your ego so close to your position that when your position falls, your ego goes with it. Rule 4, it can be done. Rule 5, be careful of what you choose, you may get it. Rule 6, don't let adverse facts stand in the way of a good decision. Rule 7, you can't make someone else's choices. You shouldn't let someone else make your choices. Rule 8, check the small things. Share the credit is Rule 9. Remain calm and be kind. Rule 11, have a vision. Be demanding. Rule 12, don't take counsel of your fears or naysayers. And Rule 13, perpetual optimism is a force. In the section, Know Yourself, Be Yourself, he speaks about always do your best because someone is watching. Then he has a section called the Street Sweeper, and those are the individuals who can help keep your ego down and in check. They are the critical people that come into your life at unique moments. Then he talks about the next section refers to busy bastards. These are people who encounter who you encounter constantly doing things uh, in order to just do things because they don't have any real value. Then he talks about kindness, and he states this, and I think it's very eloquent. Every person in an organization has value and wants that value to be recognized. Then he talks about potential, and I like this as well, potential, not just performers. The military doesn't hire from the outside when filling vacancies. What is stressed here is not to look at the individual who checks boxes and is the good performer, but seek out those who are gems and have great potential. In this section, Powell talks about taking care of the troops. He stresses it's essential as a leader to trust your people, trust them to do their jobs. Mutual respect is another encouragement garnered in this section. He then encourages leaders to view mistakes as learning opportunities, urging them to never ignore a mistake, taking the time to own it, learn from it, and grow as a leader and individual is a powerful motivator for personal and professional growth. And lastly, he says the guys in the field are right and the staff is wrong. So many times this is so true. And I think to a certain extent, it's really true in nursing as well. One team, one fight is just what it sounds like. This is the unification of the body of workers, military men, whatever it may be, all moving forward with the significant goals in mind. There's also a section that he refers to as mirror, mirror on the wall. It's not just a reflection. He talks about it being an opportunity for personal growth, a chance to see the person we are and the person we can become as leaders. He then has a section entitled Squirrels. And essentially, he says, don't get distracted. Work to stay focused to accomplish the goals at hand. In reflections, I tend to blend mine a little bit along with his. And my first opinion, inclination is he's an incredibly humble man, but yet very, very confident. He admits to this day he doesn't know where the Powell doctrine comes from or how it has evolved, but supposedly it's been credited to President Bush and General Norman Schwarzkopf in the late 1990s. The doctrine was often defined by public media as overwhelming force, but Powell says he prefers the term decisive, and not necessarily decisive force, but just being decisive. And ultimately, he says the goal is always to have successful outcomes. To encapsulate this report of General Powell's knowledge and advice and potential guidance to the leaders really doesn't do uh, a great justice to this book. I've always been drawn toward military style books. I love the discipline that comes forth, and not necessarily because of discipline as in discipline that we think about, but just the fact that they've got core values that they work to adhere to what they believe. And I feel like this is something that can truly be carried over into the profession of nursing. This book is a great read with many valuable pieces of information. And so I would encourage anyone to pick up this book. It worked for me in Life and Leadership by Colin Powell. Now, the floor is open for any questions. Thank you for your time.